Hello, Facebook. This is a special occasion. I do not often come live here, so hello. Thank you for joining me, whether you are tuning into the recording or popping into the live. As the title suggests, my name is Caitlin, and I am the founder of Integrative Pelvic Care and Free Spirit Living. And my mission in the world is supporting women back into the magic and power and wisdom and capacity to heal that they have in their bodies. Our bodies are the most powerful organism on the planet, and we have been taught to forget this. We have been taught to give our power away in very sneaky ways when it comes to our body. And by reclaiming this, I truly believe that we can change the world and lead the world in the way that it needs to be led at this time in history. Today's live was inspired by a conversation that I had with someone who recently 3 months ago, had surgery on her wrist. And it's like right here, okay? Had surgery on her wrist. Now she is experiencing pain in her thumb. So she went to the doctors and they were like, okay, option 1, we can give you this cortisone shot. Option 2, we can give you a surgery on your thumb. And she had the cortisone shot. She hates needles, but she was like, okay, I'll try this out. I'm sick of being in pain. I need to be able to work with my hands, etc. Here is what is going on. We have this tissue throughout our body that goes from head to toe called fascia. It wraps every single nerve, every single muscle cell, every single bone, every single organ. It's like a spider web that runs from head to toe within our body. If you took everything else in the away in the body, you would be left with a 3D human form of fascia. This stuff is the most innervated tissue in the body, which means it has the most nerves besides your skin. So when it comes to pain, it is a massive pain generator, but it is not studied in depth by the medical system. So when we have surgery, cut through the layers, and fascia is one of the tissues that is impacted the most. But without education, scars heal up and we think of them as, just the white stuff on the surface and that's it. And what happens, like in cases like this, is that the scar is not just the white stuff on the surface. It is everything underneath it. And scar tissue spreads like wildfire through the body. Scar tissue that is unintegrated continues to create adhesions through the body because there are, really infinite, I'm sure there's a number, but there's many, many, many layers of fascia. And if those layers are not moving or not gliding, they become stuck. What happens is the next layer will become stuck. The next layer will become stuck. The next layer will become stuck. So this adhesion starts to spread through the body. This creates a pulling. It's like if there was a fishing reel at the scar pulling from the inside, that is what is happening in the body. And I'm using this place as an example because C-sections and hysterectomies are the top 2 surgeries for women in the United States. C-sections are number 1, hysterectomies are number 2. And these surgeries, because of the scar tissue, it's like this pulling on the center of the female body. And what occurs is that women will start to have jaw pain. They'll start to have headaches. They'll start to have back pain. They'll start to have hip pain. They'll start to have all of these imbalances and go get that treated because even in the holistic system, they're not looking at the whole woman. And so it's like playing whack-a-mole, or they're just managing the symptom over and over and over again. But like the woman that I was talking to today with her scar on her wrist, that scar is now pulling on her thumb. And there's literally a tendon that runs right through here. This is really not hard or not rocket science. And it's pulling. So if this is pulling, you can see that my skin is moving over my thumb. If that starts to adhese, then this whole area is going to be tense and tight. She was offered another surgery. She was offered a lifetime future of cortisone shots. This is insane. And she's not somebody who is, empowered in her body and has this type of education and is really open to, the type of work that I do or teach. And there's no judgment in that. If you're probably not still here listening to this if this is not something that you're open to receiving. But this exemplifies the importance of us knowing our bodies so well that we can understand how they heal and understand how they function so that we don't end up swept up in the medical system and big pharma and surgery for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And this is often what happens for women after C-sections, is that they have the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Their organs start to get pulled out of place. Prolapse can come. And guess what the medical system suggests for prolapse? Surgery. And that surgery does not stick forever. So it's just this perpetual cycle that you can get sucked into. And the work that I teach in integrative pelvic care, in my root workshop, in my glow workshop, in my unity container, it all addresses the fascia. Explores the anatomy and physiology, because this is not, knowing our bodies enough to know how scars work and how to tend to a scar is not something that a practitioner needs to be guiding us through or doing for us. This is something that every single one of us, because we live in a body, has, in my opinion, a responsibility to know. And it's an example of how we have been taught, no big deal to give our power away. Maybe insurance covers it. Maybe we have the financial resources, the time, the energy to have someone do it for us. But that in itself is this just giving away of our power, when a 5-minute practice could completely resolve this, right? A 5-minute practice a couple of times, 3 times a week can completely resolve these issues. For a woman who has problems after a C-section, she can do this work on herself and not have back pain anymore, not have jaw pain anymore, have more balanced hormones, because if that scar is pulling on her abdomen, it is impacting hormonal function. It is impacting lymph function, because the majority of our lymph system sits in our abdomen. So then women will be fighting their weight and they'll think they have this stubborn belly fat and go to war with their body over it. And it's really just stubborn lymph that is congested because of their C-section. And it's, I want to be clear that I'm not laughing or flabbergasted so much at individuals. Like, I only know this because I have devoted years to research and discovering this so that I can share it with women. But it is fucking insanity that doctors, surgeons who supposedly know about the body and are paid incredible amounts of money aren't educating their clients, their patients around this. Like, that is, if you need evidence of the clusterfuck that our medical system is, then here you go. Because it is, it's quite abusive. And this is where, we have the right and the responsibility to know our bodies this much so that we choose differently, because we have the power to choose differently. And when we have this type of information and this type of education, we can avoid years of ineffective and unnecessary treatments. And of course, I respect every woman's choice in how she tends to her body. But the fact that you could spend, 15 minutes a week and resolve major issues, why not? We have so many better things that we can be doing with our time than driving to appointments to have adjustments constantly. I just shared a post about Botox and I'm not here to fight about Botox for aesthetics. Do what you will. But if someone is receiving Botox injections for pain, jaw pain, headaches, pelvic pain are the ones that I'm aware of. This means that your soft tissue is responding, your fascia is responding to the treatment. And I looked it up, and Botox is like $100 to $600 according to Google per round. So whether, maybe somebody's insurance covers that, or maybe the money is no big deal. Maybe they don't mind having the botulism injected into their body. But also, that is evidence that soft tissue work could resolve that pattern completely, forevermore. No more Botox injections, no more jaw pain, no more pelvic pain, no more headaches. And this is the work that I teach specifically in the Glow workshop that I have coming up, is for the face, neck, and jaw. And I also have a scar tissue intensive that is pre-recorded that you keep for life, and it is simple and gentle and wildly effective so that you can do this work with yourself. And I always teach some basic anatomy so that you can really see the way that your body works together. It's not about, memorizing a bunch of names and Latin terms and all of that. It's simply about understanding what is happening beneath the surface in your sacred body temple that the Creator made for you to thrive in. I see somebody is here live. If you would have any questions about this, you're welcome to pop them in the chat. And I know that this work and these topics can be not something that we want to share publicly. So if you have questions that you'd like to ask via DM, I'm happy to point you in a direction that would be supportive for you. And again, respect to everyone's choice and everyone's path in life. And if you desire to really be empowered and confident and feel fucking fabulous in your body for the rest of your life, then my work is for you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Happy Friday. Bye-bye.